I actually don't give a shit what camera you use, and don't listen to any of the other channels when it talks about gear matters, blah 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 blah. I am walking and living proof that having what kind of camera or gear you have does not matter when you first start out. So I'm going to walk you through exactly what happened. So when I was first a videographer and video editor and just having content aspirations of what I wanted to be as a content or a YouTuber type of person, I was literally broke. Hence the name Broke Visionary Collective or Broke the Habit. No dollar to my name. I was about $30,000 in debt. And what did I have on me? I had my phone. My one and only Samsung Galaxy S Mini. It didn't even have like 8 megapixels. It did not even shoot 4K. It shot, I think, even like 720 because I was using the front facing camera. With a trembling voice, I took that little smartphone, put it on my bookshelf that I still have, and I started just talking to the camera. Looked straight into the lens with a shaking and trembling voice and all sorts of anxiety all up in me. And I just started spewing out whatever I thought that was content. And that was my first ever piece of content. I didn't even have money for even a light or a tripod. All I used was this little clamp light that I put on the bookshelf, and that was my key light at that time. And the back was completely just pitch black in my bedroom. And that was the origins of how I initially started. And you're like, how did you even like get from that to a Nikon? Well, from those clips that I was able to film myself and talk to a camera, I was able to use that and start editing. I was my own guinea pig. I was my own test subject. I didn't need to walk and get some model or actors or talent and film some sort of like short film with just my phone. I was filming myself as the main character, editing just a silly YouTube video because that's what I had fun doing. Do that 50 times, and then hey, I started to pick up Premiere Pro really easily. From there, I worked minimum wage jobs. Like, I was a line cook. I have working footage of me on the line cleaning and flipping the line as a cook, and I eventually saved up my $300 to $400 and bought a secondhand used Nikon D5200. And that's that video. So for me to go from a silly smartphone to a Nikon D5200, that's how I proved that gear does not matter. And you're like, hey, you use some fancy phone. Not everybody uses, like, has a 4K phone. I'm like, bro, I used my Samsung. It wasn't even a mini. I think it was like a Samsung Galaxy A4. Like, it was just, looking back, I'm like, it's like pulsating. It was like super pixely. I had no microphone at that time, and I was like, what was I doing? And from there, I used my little money that I had, bought that D5200, and my D5200 was the first video camera, wink wink, I used to film my first ever video client. But one of the most hilarious things when I first used this was that I had the visual, but I did not have audio because I could not afford something like a microphone. If anything, a wireless microphone. So what I did, I actually made my client. I'm like, hey, can you like hold your phone for me? And like instead of holding it in frame, just hold it right underneath. Hold it right there. Clap for me. And they were literally holding the phone underneath. Thank God he was a chill dude. He held the phone underneath the microphone, underneath the camera, and I was using my phone's audio, guys. My phone's audio as my visual from the Nikon D5200, and that's how I started filming. And from there, I upgraded that from my using my phone as audio to where's this guy right here. This is the Smart Lav Plus, which connects straight into your phone so you can get better quality. So I essentially used my phone as an external recorder, get my client to clap, and I would sync the audio in post production. So I started from very humble beginnings. And some of those videos are actually on my reel. And if you haven't seen any of my work yet, link is in my Instagram in below. And I started from very budget friendly gear where I had pretty much nothing. I started from nothing, if anything, plus my student loan debt, going to a university a college program that I wasn't even enthusiastic about. I was like a minus $30,000, right? So gear does not matter. What matters is using what you already have. And I am living proof that you can literally start from zero and start creating your own leap of faith in whatever it is that you want to do. Hell, even this budget right now, like this is an Amazon, mic stand. You got yourself a newer softbox light. It's like this setup is pretty minimal. Really straight to the point. One key light, you got some audio. If you haven't watched how I make this setup, watch that in the description below. But when all these professional camera gear people and they work for camera shops and I'm like, yeah, gear matters. You need this lens. I'm like, start with what you have in your hands. And most likely that is your phone. Use that, especially if you are a YouTuber or aspiring content, even TikToker, is like, use what you have. From there, you can start figuring out and having footage and figuring out, hey, is this what I want to do? Then start investing. Then figure out, okay, this is what I need to upgrade. I need to get a lens. I need a light. That's when gear matters. But when you first start off as any aspiring creative, do not get into the mindset of, I need to buy the best gear and the best gear will make the best content. No. Whoever is control and directing you, whether that's me or you want to be behind or in front of the camera, that is where the best content will come. It's not about getting that $10,000 camera. On God. On God. Because God did, in the words of Khaled. End of the day, man, gear, I have clips. Like, I came from nothing and now I'm here, all right? Gear does not matter. Unless you're a professional photographer, then, but that's a whole different topic. But this is the perspective from me, some random kid out of East Vancouver, Peter, from Broke Visionary Collective, that tells you gear does not matter. And if you want to get serious, learning how to film, learning all the basic movements, what kind of equipment you need, I have my fast class master guide course of how you use any camera and how you film. And if you want to get serious about making money and getting your first video client, I also have a course on that. Both of those resources are in the description below. My name is Peter. You're watching Broke Visionary Collective, and we all start with nothing. But you can always create something. Cheers, guys.